while speaking about each of the states, as much as in all different criteria, now let us understand what is self-regulation in online game. Let's move ahead. So, as the name says it, so any industry from fintech to edtech to gaming, I have been observing all of them, and I saw one thing in common was self-regulation. So any industry which starts building up, what do? They form a committee, they form a team of all the industry coming together, members, and they form certain rules and regulations. That this has to be the boundary. Yeah, these are to be the obligations. These are to be the compliances to run this industry in a legit manner. So today, that whenever anything goes wrong, it can be said that, hey, they have been complying with a lot of self-regulatory factors. There have been a lot of compliances. Let's look at them. That is what is self-regulation. And since there are going to be so many members, so then a body is created where there is a head, then there is a flow of members, and then there are members, so that it can be channelized in the right manner and it doesn't feel that there is bias prejudice. Yeah. Everybody comes together, discusses the matter, strategizes, and then there is a head person who makes it more better and more refined for every other member in the industry. That is what is self-regulation, and that is how a self-regulatory body is formed. And the upcoming law for the online gaming industry is speaking about self-regulation. So if I read this for you, it says self-regulation happens when no law, statute, or authority is regulating your industry. In such cases, prominent companies take the following step. They acknowledge the fact that there is a need for a regulatory mechanism. Then they adopt and set up the best practices, guidelines, and principles, and for operating the self-regulatory. And then they form this self-regulatory body. Yeah. So what happens when you have these self-regulatory bodies? You put up best practices, guidelines, and principles. So there are no malpractices, right? So that okay, if you don't know what to do next, you have a certain guideline to refer to. You have a certain body to look up to it. That, hey, today I received such a notice. I am not aware. Now what should we do? Then that regulatory body is going to guide you. It will even provide you that law support that is needed. That is how important these self-regulatory bodies are. Okay. Now let's move ahead. So why is self-regulation important for any niche, gaming, OTT, drones, etc.? Of course, if they don't have self-regulation, trust me, it will be very, I'm not saying that it will never happen, but it will become a very difficult path for these industry to seek legal sanction. Since they have formed their self-regulatory bodies, they are being easily approached by different, they can approach different governmental bodies. They can go and lobby, they can speak about their points, their intention, they can show what is legal under this particular industry, and then seek legal sanction. That is what has happened in gaming. That is what I've been doing for the last 4-5 years. We have approached every possible ministry and given so much clarity that today we've reached at a position to have something which is defining the gaming industry. That is why it is important to have self-regulation and self-regulatory bodies. Yeah. And of course, when there is no self-regulatory body, there will be no governing mechanism. Yeah. So say today, if you have a self-regulatory body, you know that there is one body where even if there is dispute between two members, they can approach and find a solution. Say somebody from outside is coming and hitting the industry, it can approach the self-regulatory body. Say that there is no government which is aligning or providing it legitimacy, they know they can approach the self-regulatory body. So it is though it has no legal power as of such, unless and until it is sanctioned by way of some law. But they hold a very important place for any industry to make it way up, to voice itself. Very, very important. So why is self-regulation important? Difficulty in ascertaining the definition of terms. So yes, they help you even raise your voice to the level that you go up to ministries, you go up to policy think tanks and tell them that, hey, this is such a big industry, this is the revenue, this is the employment, we are digital, there is so much of use of smartphone, we are the youngest generation country, everything is there, but why aren't you defining this? Why aren't you giving it a legal sanctity? Then gaming laws are obsolete and very vague, already discussed at length. Nitty-gritties of running online digital games not mentioned anywhere except in the rules of these self-regulation bodies. Few examples of the questions answered due to self-regulation include how to determine whether it is a game or skill. Yes, until and unless if you don't know anything about it, your SRO will really help you, and we will show you the charter of such a self-regulating body, of how they have defined of what should be the format, whether this game can be offered to minors or not, so responsible gaming policy, whether this game can be offered for money or not, again real money gaming guidelines, and the advertisement norms, that is ASCAI. So all of these have come into action with the help of self-regulatory bodies, at least in gaming. Yeah, let's move ahead.